Hello, welcome to the midweek edition of Racing to Win, where we're going to preview Happy Valley on Wednesday night for a 9-race program, racing on the C+3 circuit. It's smack bang in between the big Christmas Eve meeting and the even bigger New Year's Day meeting. Joined to preview it all by Paul Lally. And Paul, what's the meeting look like on Wednesday night?
Look, I think it's quite an open meeting, this one. There's plenty of chances. The last two races in particular are pretty good. And the early race, I thought, is quite good as well. One of the race number 2, which is sort of the fast class of the meeting. That looks like a really good one. A distance race over the 2,200 metres. We don't really see that for the higher rated horses too often at Happy Valley. So all in all, it should be a good meeting. And season's greetings to you as well, Mark. Hope you ate and drank lots.
I certainly ate too much, and to you, and hopefully everybody's had a great Christmas as well. Before we move on, back to Christmas Eve, Paul, Zach Purton joined the 1500 Club, and to show we've had some great riders here in Hong Kong, how hard it is to get into, he joined just one other member of it, Douglas White. Yeah,
and congratulations to Zach as well. That's a fantastic achievement, isn't it, here in Hong Kong? You know, there's records. He's the way he's riding races at the moment, or riding winners, I should say. You know, this end of the season, he could be on a massive total.
69 winners for the moment. We're not even halfway through yet, and another big day for him on Christmas Eve. Plenty of good chances too on Wednesday night. But unfortunately, Jack Wong won't be riding. He's been struck down with COVID. So the replacements are race 3, number 12, Farshad, is now Victor Wong. And race 5, number 7, Smiling Moon, is Keith Young. They are the changes. Ken report that Hugh Bowman has been cleared to ride after that fall-off fast pace on Christmas Eve, and Luke Ferraris is back too. He's overcome his indisposure from Christmas Eve as well and cleared to rejoin the saddle is Luke Ferraris. That is the latest on the jockeys. Now the meeting details we will look at right now with the light show doing its thing. 9 turf races. C+3 meeting 31 of the season, and we kick off at 6:45. The 2 races we preview are the 2 Class 3s at the end of the card over the 1200 metres and the 1650 metres. The Lonky handicap is the 8th. We've got Adios at the top of the book, carrying an extra £4 for his last start win. Seizing the moments on the class drop. He's a 3-time winner, track, distance and class. California Sybil is second up, resumed after an over 12-month break with that 4th behind Beauty Tycoon. Naboo Legend with a wider draw, trailing well, just hasn't brought it to race day as yet. Excellent Daddy has run second behind Nervous Witness at the trial since failing last time at Shard 10. Lucky 8 won his first 2. Since then he's had 3 starts yet to figure, so Ricky Yu brings him to Happy Valley for the first time. Harmony Fire, all 3 wins over the 1,000, just his second look at 1,200. Magic Phoenix has the blinkers off. Humble Star was a horse that was raced under the same name for trainer David Pfeiffer. Won over 1,000 at Muswellbrook and Gosford, and 1,200 metres on the synthetic track at Canberra. And High Rise Soldier comes back into Class 3 after winning on the downgrade last time. Bit of speed here, Paul. California Sybil led at his first run back. Harmony Fire up in trip. Adios, we know he likes to go forward. No real luck for Lucky 8, who looked to have plenty of promise, but he just hasn't seemed to have come up this time in.
No, he hasn't, has he? And look, he's going to be, I think he'll be trapped wide from his draw. High Rise Soldier, who did win in a lower grade last time, he's drawn wide as well, unfortunately. Magic Phoenix should get a nice enough run. Namjong Singh's has got the inside draw, so he'll be 3 back the inside, I think. Humble Star, now, he's been a little bit slow out in his trials, Humble Star, so he might be towards the back. We know that Seizing the Moment gets back as well, but California Sybil looks the leader.
Seizing the Moment had a couple of goes in Class 2 at his last 2 starts, and one of them over the 1,000 was a little short. Adios is absolutely low flying, and the man that parted him last time will be aboard again on Wednesday night. It is Sylvester de Souza. Race 8, you're right, Adios. Must be a lovely feeling going to Happy Valley, jumping on a horse like him.
Absolutely, yeah, you know, I was very thrilled and when he won last time, and, you know, just make me win the IJC, and now happy with the connections, and the horse is doing well at home, and no, very happy with him.
He's a horse that did it at both ends last time. He showed early speed. Was he getting a little tired at the end, or did he just start waiting for them a touch?
He was getting a bit tired. I think we went pretty hard early on, and but he hang on well, you know, and yeah, now he's another front running rider that night, and no, very pleased with him, and no, things are going good for him.
Bit of extra weight this week too, 135 pounds. What sort of difference, if any, does that make to your tactics?
Well, I think probably a bit more patient with him. He could be in front or second or third, but with a bit more patient. And he's a horse probably doesn't need to go to the front, and I just have to ride the race to finish.
It's been a really good December, Happy Valley for you. Deadheaded the IJC and a 3-timer there at your last meeting.
Yep.
We've spoken about Adios and earlier Island Surprise. What about the other rides? Are you confident of another 3-timer?
Yeah, well, I'll have a full book of rides, and I hope all can be competitive. But it's Happy Valley. You never know what's happening out there.
And you can hear Sylvester's thoughts on the website too, and jump on to the Race at Island Surprises in hkjc.com. Interesting there, Paul. We're going to see the replay again. We know he doesn't necessarily need to lead Adios, and with the 135 pounds, it sounded like Sylvester's just going to use a little caution if he has to.
Yeah, that's what I think. And I think with California Sybil in the race as well, he can sort of lead. Yeah, that's the key with this horse, isn't he? He's drawn nicely in 6. Look, he won off a rating of 73. He's up to this rating of 79 and has to carry 135. That's the little worry I've got for me. He's a progressive horse. I like the horse, but just a little bit worried about that weight he has to carry.
We're going to have a look at his stats now, and a terrific record over the course and distance. 3 starts for a couple of wins for him, or 5 starts for 2 wins and 2 placings to be exact. Track and distances, 3 starts for 2 wins and a placing. He did struggle a bit at Sha Tin. He came here with good form around the smaller circuits in New South Wales, and he's carried that form across to Happy Valley.
Yeah, look, I just wonder if he obviously enjoys Happy Valley. He does well there. That the stats prove that. He's by Schnitzel. We've seen those horses go pretty well around Happy Valley as well. So the breed sort of suits the sort of the city circuit. So all in all, he's probably found his niche here.
So that is Adios, and a last start winner. Here is Seizing the Moment. Now, this is a 6th last time behind Rewarding Together. 3-time course and distance winner. Just needs the pace right on, because as you said, with him, he's never a great beginner. He has got better, but he sits back in the field and just hopes that they go really hard early, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And look, he hasn't won off this rating before. He's a rating 79 horse at the moment. He has run second off a rating 80 before. So look, he's capable. As you say, everything needs to go right for this horse because he's a get-back runner.
1,068 pounds he weighs in this week. Now, California Sybil is a horse you were keen on first up. His run certainly wasn't bad. It was first time for just over 12 months. Naboo Legend hasn't brought the trial form to the races yet, but do we go again with California Sybil?
I'm going to. Look, he drew 10 here. He had to work to get across, and you can see he just sort of knocked up late. He was entitled to finish a long way back, but he's a fighter, this horse. Now, the reason he was off was a pelvic injury. Yep. He seems to have come through. They gave him a couple of trials into that. The good thing with him, he gets that £10 claim as well.
He does. Angus Chung takes the ride again. Now, Tony Cruz, has he engaged in the race? Of the others, Paul, Berlin Tango D-Star was good on debut. A win by the first starter, Faithful Champion, would surprise on his trial form.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, with him. But look, I did like the way D-Star finished off his race on debut here. Berlin Tango up to 2,200 metres is capable. Winning Dragon, he's won 2 in a row, but he's up on the weights now as well. I think California Sybil's his best chance here.
Tony sitting on 24 wins for the season and currently in the lead in the Trainers' Premiership. We head down the straight. Here is Lucky 8 running 4th. This was last time behind Quadruple Double. He goes up in trip. He's a 2-time winner over the 1,200 metres. The ability is there, but we're yet to see it this time in, apart from this 4th, which was just okay.
Yeah, exactly. No, he's had 5 starts in Hong Kong in total, this horse. He won his first 2, and he won his first 2 really easily. And look, he sort of, as such, went up in the ratings a little bit there for him as well. He's never raced at Happy Valley under race conditions before, and he's drawn wide. That's not a good formula, I think, for first start at Happy Valley.
And no trials around the valley either for Lucky 8. Our next replay is Harmony Fire. Speaking of horses that haven't come up, this guy, so Douglas is going to throw him over 1,200 metres this week, Paul. He's a 3-time winner over the 1,000 metres. This run was when he was second up, which where he always races well, and he just laboured in the straight.
He did, didn't he? And I do prefer him over 1,000. Now, one thing in his favour is he's drawn barrier number 2, so that's a good thing for this horse. And he has won off a rating of 68. He's down to this rating of 67. He's capable, but he's just not in form at the moment.
Just a few first starters at the meeting on Wednesday night, Paul. This is one of them and certainly looks to be the best. Humble Star. He's had the 4 trials out of the Pierre Ong stable, including one at Happy Valley. Now, he runs on really well in this trial. one on the synthetic track at Canberra. So if he doesn't perform up to standard at the turf meeting on Wednesday night, we might see him out in the dirt at some stage.
He's a versatile horse. Look, he's been a little bit slow away in his trials here, but I haven't minded the way he finishes off. You can see that here as well. Now, he did win over 1,000 metres twice in Australia, and then once, so as you mentioned, over that 1,200 on the synthetic. So he's definitely capable when he is a speedy horse, winning over that 1,000 metres as well. So as long as he jumps, he just needs to put it all together, and he has had a Happy Valley trial as well. I'm going to include him because I've liked what I've seen.
One of those wins too in Australia was at Gosford, which is a smaller circuit. And if you can get around Gosford, you can get around Happy Valley quite okay. So that's the first of the Class 3s, Paul, the one over the 1,200 metres, and it's California Sybil for you again.
Yeah, I'm going to go with California Sybil again. Look, the 10-pound claim, he comes in really well at the weights. He carries 120 compared to Adios's 135. So 15 pounds difference. I don't know if there's 15 pounds difference between these horses. We'll find out on Wednesday night. But 3 to beat 1. Humble Star, the one we talked about, the first starter here in Hong Kong, adds a new form line to this race. And seizing the moment, just needs luck, this horse, because he gets back, runs on strongly. If he gets the race run to suit, he's more than capable. He has run second off a high rating before. 3, 1, 11 and 2.
Going to stick with Adios on his last start when he was getting a bit tired, as we heard from Sylvester. The horse he beat was a Red Lion. Barry number 6, but he is versatile. If he can lump with 135 pounds and cope with that, I think he'll be able to win again. California Sybil's going to be fitter. He did fail second up in his first campaign before he got injured, so there was that little concern around him, but he's a horse with plenty of ability. Seizing the moment, comes here on the class drop with a good record course and distance, and even from the bad draw. Lucky 8, just going to give him a first full chance on more what he did last prep than this prep, but we'll see if the change of scenery helps him out on Wednesday night. So 1, 3, 2 and 8. And that is a look at race number 8 at Happy Valley on this 9-race program. We're going to take a break here on Racing to Win. Back to preview the 9th with Paul right after this. Welcome back. You are watching Racing to Win, Hong Kong's twice weekly preview show, and we're making our way through the program for Happy Valley on Wednesday night on a 9-race program, and the last is over the 1,650 metres, the second of the Class 3 races. Winning Dragons aiming for the hat-trick. He carries an extra 5 pounds after his win last time with Tom Marquand in the saddle. Comet Splendido back to the 1,650, never missed a top 3 finish course and distance. Master Delight scratched on the meeting on the 14th of December, was lame in the left front, has trialled since. Super Dynamite makes his Happy Valley debut. His first 2 runs back have been on the all-weather. Maldives up in trip from the 1,600 to the 1,650. Exceptional Nice. It took him 25 starts to win one. He's now won 2 in a row. Win-Win Fighter's a 2-time winner course and distance, but does struggle when he comes up in grade. Little Baby's had 2 trials since his last start. And Storm Legend has placed 4 from 8 course and distance. He's eligible for the top of Class 4, but goes around with the lighter weight here. Speed good, Paul. We know Trader likes to go forward. Exceptional Nice is always handy. Winning Dragon will get a good run, so will Comet Splendido. The runner, first time over the 1,650. A couple of his runs over the 1,200 from the draws that he's had will have felt like he's run 1,650 a couple of times.
Yeah, and he's drawn wide once again, hasn't he? Look, he could get across to the lead or get outside the leader. I just wanted to highlight here that he might have to work to do that from that wide draw. Stepping right up in trip, he's raced over 1,000 last time, so up to 1,650 now. Other than that, I think every horse will get his opportunity. Win-Win Fighter was the last start winner. He should get a nice enough run. Comet Splendido, the likely favourite, likewise. Super Dynamite. Loyal Baby gets back. Maldives has been getting back. Master Delight and Storm Legend from his wide draw, I think, will go back.
Well, you're going to start with the horse, Paul, with the best form in the race at the moment. That is Winning Dragon. His wins have been both over 1,650 at his last 2. One with 125, one with 28. He's got extra weight this week with 133 on his back, but you can't knock the way he's racing.
Another one that sort of really excelled over the 1,650 here at Happy Valley. He's had 3 starts over it. He's won 2 of them. Now, he did arrive on a rating of 80. He got all the way down. Now he's won these 2 in a row. He's back up to a rating of 78. So he's still less than the rating he arrived at. So I think he's capable. The extra 5 pounds, a little bit of a concern, but I want to include him. He's a horse in good form.
Luke Ferraris rides for Tony Cruz. Speaking of horses in good form, Comet Splendido doesn't win out of turn, very consistent, but only been able to be in front once from 7.
And that was for a rating of 69. Now, he is up to this rating of 75. Sort of creeps up the ratings without winning. But look, this is 1,800 metres. He went clear. He was run down late by Nearly Fine here, who will be racing later on in the card. It wasn't a bad run from him. I thought he stayed on nicely, but I think he's better at the 1650. I think he's suited by this race.
Okay, well, the man on board is Zach Purton, who's just been winning everything. And looking through his rides, Paul, he has ace out of the 9 races, and you can make a case for every one of them.
Yep, definitely. And that field, Medic Elite, last start winner. Running Glory's in great form, coming here for the first time. Tronic Mighty's the last start winner. Star Contact had a flashing red light on his head last start. Ratton Kingdom a last start winner. And of course, Comet Splendido. If Comet Splendido, if he has a few winners earlier on, which we've seen all season, what price Comet Splendido in the last?
1.2, 1.3 when the money comes through early in betting. It's another great book for Zach Purton on Wednesday night. We head now, Paul, to the all-weather Super Dynamite. He's a horse that's just won 1 from 16. He's not normally too far away. This was a 5th. He was beaten a fair way in this. Handsome 12. True Legend has been too good for him here. He was beaten by Handsome 12 2 runs ago. What do you make of him over this coming back to the turf on Wednesday night?
Well, that's the key, isn't it? He's never been to Happy Valley before under race conditions. He's only been placed from his 2 starts over the 1650. That's been on the all-weather, to be fair. Because he hasn't been to Happy Valley before, I'm just happy to watch him run around.
Draws nicely in barrier number 4. Yep. Derek Long rides him for Ricky Yu. Maldives. He's won 3 from 29. Last start over the 1,200 metres. He's a course and distance winner off a rating of 52. You've just got to catch him on the right night, don't you? He's
a quirky horse. He's not the sort of horse you want to take home to meet mum, is he? He's got these different sort of characteristics. He does a lot of things wrong. But look, when he is on his best behaviour, he can run really well, this horse. You can see him really stretching out nicely here. Runs second off a rating of 75, and he is rated 72.
I was wondering where you're going, but if you're taking a horse home to beat mum, you've got to have a few issues.
Well, you've got big issues, that's true.
We move on. What about this horse? Exceptional Nice. Was always thereabouts, had a record of seconds everywhere. Won once, loved it so much, now you can't stop him.
No, 2 in a row for him as well. So, look, the thing with him is, though, he has run second off this rating before. He did all these when he was very consistent without winning, and he has performed off this rating. So, although he's won 2 in a row, I know it sounds a bit weird, but he's still quite a well-rated horse.
And that was coming back up in grade, that win too. The other horse in that replay, Paul, was Storm Legend. Eligible for the class drop, good record, course and distance. Drawn 11, 19 start made him. But plenty of times you'll have run on and you think, next time's it.
Yeah, that's the thing. He catches you, doesn't he?
Yep.
Storm Legend. But he still hasn't managed to win this win here in Hong Kong. So that's a little bit of a concern. I just think he's going to get a little bit further back than he would like to as well from that barrier draw. So there's a couple of negatives there for him. But look, he's capable. We know he's capable. He just can't get his nose in front.
A couple of others in the race. We'll start with Trader the 9. Horse with good speed, 16.54. Just the second time. The first was on the all-weather last time. Class 3's where he struggled though. Class 4 he drops in grade and he goes and wins or runs really well.
Yeah, that's the thing with him, isn't it? He just really struggles when he's up with the big boys, isn't he? You know, when he can perform pretty well in Class 4, no problem whatsoever, but just struggles a little bit up here.
Same with Win-Win Fighter. Class drop,
yep.
Down in Class 4 last time, or his last 2 starts, a second and a first, gets back into grade. He does have a good draw on we know the C+3 over the 1650 and 1200 has great stats.
Yeah, exactly. And look, he's a horse that should, as you say, should be about 3 back on the inside, somewhere like that. He'll get his opportunity. He just sort of struggles in the grade a little bit. That's the problem with that.
All right, so that's a look at some of those runners in race number 9. Interesting sort of race with horses like Comet Splendido coming back in trip, Winning Dragon in form, Super Dynamite coming to Happy Valley for the first time. He's going to be favourite, Comet Splendido. It's just a question of how many winners Zach rides and how short he's going to be.
Exactly. There'll be plenty of roll-up money on him. That's one thing for sure. But look, I'm going to put him on top. He's such a consistent horse. The 1,800 metres was just a little step too far, I thought, last time. He was sort of left in front a little bit, was run down late. Coming back to the 1650 looks absolutely ideal for him. Maldives in there for second. Look, his second off 75 was good. Again, as I say, he's a quirky horse. He does a lot of things wrong. But just recently, he sort of matured a little bit, and we haven't seen that in recent starts. Exceptional Nice, he's in there for third. Again, he's rated quite well, I thought, for a horse who's won his last two, because he was so consistent before he managed to get those two wins. So he is capable, I think, of this rating of 66. Winning Dragon. Now, the thing with Winning Dragon is he arrived at this rating of 80. He's now down to 78, has won his two in a row. So the handicappers are right to rate him 80. He's still a really well-rated horse as well, even though he's won two in a row. So 2, 6, 8 and 1 for me.
With the two also, Comet Splendido, he picks himself. He's been favourite plenty of times recently, and he does meet Winning Dragon better at the weights from when Winning Dragon beat him 2 starts ago. Nearly fine form is good form because he's racing well. We'll see him over the 2,200 metres. I'm going to put Super Dynamite in for second. All-weather third behind a handsome 12 2 starts ago, then a little disappointing behind True Legend. Exceptional Nice is going too well to leave out, and Maldives to round out the first 4, 2, 5, 8 and 6 in race number 9. So that has been a look at the last 2 races. Paul, I don't think we mentioned if there were jackpots at the start of the show. There's none.
No, there's none.
That's why we didn't mention them.
That's why we didn't mention them.
So just confirming there are no jackpots, but there are plenty on New Year's Day. There's also 7 other races before the 2 we previewed, and who are some of those winners?
I don't mind Asian 1 in race 1. He's run second off a lot higher rating before. He's up to 1,800 metres by Ocean Park, so bosh for him. Asian 1 in race 1. Rise Brethren in the 2,200 metre race is a course and distance winner. Island Surprise led all the way when he won his start this season. Tronic Mighty's the last start winner. And look, he's going really well at the moment as well. Star Contact hit the line very strongly at his last time. Lean Hero up in trip, fantastic choice, trialled well, and we've talked about the last 2. So all in all, I think it's a good card.
It is, and you can find all of those previews for those races on the website, hkjc.com. Click on audio and video. We're almost at the end of the show, Paul, and you know what that means.
Yep, we're going to do best bets. I'm going to go with one we've talked about, California Sybil. He's had that one run back. It was a good run from him, and I think just at the weights, I think he can win. And he could be an each-way price, actually, California Sybil. As far as a long shot, we'll go for Fantastic Choice. Now, this horse only had the 2 starts in Hong Kong, but his trial was really good, I thought, leading into it. So we'll go have a take a crack with him, and then we'll do the play in race 6. Co-partner Era, Spicy Grill, and Lean Hero up and trip. QQP 235.
Race 5, number 3, Star Contact, does have the wide draw, but was big last time behind Win-Win Fighter. He was only beaten a length and 3/4 and raced wide the entire trip. Sure Joyful's had his last 2 starts over 1650. Comes back to 1,200 metres. He's placed 2 from 4 course and distance, and will make him part of the play. Race 3, 3D Star, 8 Island Surprise, and 9 Sure Joyful, 3, 8 and 9. That has been racing to win, Paul, and then New Year's Day at Shard 10, Lucky Swainess makes an appearance.
Yeah, over 1,400 metres, so we'll see how he goes. It's 11 race card as well. We haven't seen Bazinga back for a while, and he'll be racing as well in another race, Class 2, 1,200.
He's had a number of trials. That has been racing to win. We will see you at Happy Valley on Wednesday night for a 6:45 start.